So today's community conversation was just not about how you transition, into phase 2 for COVID-19, but understanding that whether it's good or bad, whether you say yes or no, whether you go or you stay still, it causes a ripple effect in your life. Hey, good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Community Conversation. It is your girl, KO. If we cool, you call me KO. If we just getting to know each other, you throw the P in front. I'm so excited to be here today to talk to you. My hair is all over the place. Y'all bear with me. I'm excited to be here with you guys this morning to talk to you on activating gratitude. Look, this was inspired by a presentation I gave yesterday for Innovation High School that my sister Davina Thrower currently serves at, and I had this amazing opportunity to speak to these students that were graduating, that were still pressing forward in the middle of a pandemic, and I thought that I would jump on here today for Coffee and Community Conversation and activate gratitude in you. How many of you know that there's so many reasons where we could be discouraged? So many things that could have made us doubt who we are or what's happening in our life. So much uncertainty in 2020 because of things like COVID-19, because of things like people losing their jobs or being furloughed, because of things of relationships not working out, or because you're not connected to your circle of friends like you were. Some of us are used to going to church on Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and on Monday too. And so we're no longer able to gather like we were gathering before, or we used to dine with the group of friends and family on a monthly basis because we just needed a sense of connection, right? So that we did not feel alone. I know this is for somebody today. And so I came to talk to the people who need to have gratitude activated on the inside of them. Because when we talk about coffee and community conversation, we're talking about the things that's happening in our present day, things that are happening now. Next week is Thanksgiving, and they said to us, be careful how you gather because of the limitations. And so a lot of us are not traveling like we used to. A lot of us aren't making the big dinner like we used to because we don't have people coming to see us. A lot of us may be alone, right? Some of us may just have you and your spouse or your child, and you're used to having a larger circle. And so what happens is that we begin to get discouraged because of what's happening on the outside of us. But today I'm going to show you how to turn that around by focusing on what's happening in you. I'm not sure, Davina, can everybody else hear me? Yeah, okay. And so today we're talking about activating gratitude. So I want to start, I'm not sure what that is, Davina. Maybe you can refresh it. Can everybody else hear me okay? I'll wait. Okay, great. Thank you, Teresa. So guys, today I can't start without telling you I'm rocking my Wonder Woman cup for another week, right? It kind of matches. It coincides with this banging blue that I'm wearing. And I have Sumatra Starbucks coffee in my cup. It's a little darker than I wanted it to be. I have a splash of French vanilla, and I had to add some cream, even though I shouldn't, because I'm limited in my diet right now because it was just too strong. And so that's what's in my cup, right? And so today I'm talking about activating gratitude. Jamar, good to see you, bro. And so Jamar Jenkins is up here. If you guys don't know, him and his wife has a brand called Relationship Over Religion. And since he stopped by here, Jamar, if you could throw a link there if they wanted to pick up a shirt. I know you have some new materials that you just dropped out. Part of the things I'm going to talk about in activating gratitude is what we can do for others, not just ourselves, supporting people that's in our circle and people that are around us. So Jamar, if you're still here, would you just drop a link so that they can get to your page or find out how they can pick up one of your shirts? Guys, look, I want to start with a short story today. And look, we have 10 people watching, but I believe, and I believe that there's hundreds more that need to hear this message. So if you would do me a favor and you would share this with someone, if you would tag somebody in, that would be great. So today, guys, I want to start with a short story. And this is a short story I told the kids at Innovation High School. There was a young boy who was blind that sat on the side of the road panhandling. He had a sign in front of him, and people passed by and they sparingly dropped change inside his cup. And a man passed by who was on his way to work, an older gentleman, and he picked up the young man's sign and he wrote something different on it. And he put it back down. What happened after he finished writing that sign is that people begin to influx this young man who was blind and give him change. At the end of the evening, before the blind young boy was able to get up and go home, the older gentleman who had changed the writing on his sign came back, and the little boy said, "What did you write on my sign?" And he said, I said the same thing that you said. I just said it different. So the young boy had on his sign, "I'm blind and I need help," right? That's what he had on his sign. "I'm blind, I need help." What the gentleman wrote, "Today is a beautiful day, but I can't see it." Watch this. It's the same thing. "I'm blind, but I can't help. Today is a beautiful day, but I can't see it." Both are true, but it was an opportunity to activate gratitude in the people that were watching. And that's important for the context of this conversation today when we're talking about gratitude. I don't have any scripture for you today. You know, I have practical tools and the recipe for gratitude that I want you to pick up. I want you to walk with, and I want something to stir up on the inside of you. And so when you say things different, it reminds you of how much you have to be grateful for. Am I correct? When you look at things from a different perspective or perception, it reminds you of all the things that you were able to overcome in your life that you faced that have you here today. Anybody? Can you look back and realize some of the experiences that you shaped that has reshaped you? And even though you thought you wasn't going to make it back then, you look back and you realize, thank goodness I did. Gratitude, right? And so today I want to activate gratitude. You have to be able to say thank you, right? You have to be able to say thank you for waking up. Thank you for being able to talk. Thank you for being able to walk. Thank you for being able to do the things that some people have not. We're living in a COVID-19 environment where 250,000 people have died. Thank you. I'm still alive. Thank you that I haven't contracted it. Thank you that if I did contract it, I was able to get through and I was healed. Thank you. And so we have so many things that we need to be grateful for. But in a time where we are about to embark on Thanksgiving, we pay more attention of what's happening outside of us than we don't begin to cultivate what's going on the inside of us. Are you still with me? And so let me give you some tips today on how you can activate gratitude. Number one, celebrate your mistakes. Gratitude isn't about documenting perfection. It's about pushing through when things don't go as planned or when you face a problem, right? Gratitude can be most helpful when things don't go as planned because you're reminded that the last time something was off, you was able to make it through to this new place that you're in right now. So celebrate your mistakes. Gratitude, it has to be perfection. It means that something happens, but I pushed through. It didn't go as planned, but I still prospered. I found myself in this place today. So celebrate mistakes. Somebody write that down for me. Number one, to activate gratitude in your life, you should celebrate your mistakes. It's okay. So many people don't want to fail in front of others, but I encourage you to fail forward and fail fast. If you fail forward and you fail fast, the people will see you when you fall, but they'll also see you when you get back up. And it's when you get back up that's going to be a testament to them and to you that you have what you need in you, the resilience to keep going. And it's going to encourage them to fail forward and to also get back up. Just like the young blind boy with the sign, you have to set the example because look, the streets are watching. And when the streets are watching, they just don't want to see what you say. They want to see what you do. So celebrate your mistakes. Y'all share this. This is for somebody today. Number two, acknowledge and validate your feelings of frustration or sadness. Look, stop stuffing away what's been shifting you. Stop hiding what's been hurting you. Acknowledge and validate your feelings of frustration or sadness. You know, a lot of times in our life, we keep things bottled up. Anybody here? We keep things bottled up. We keep them on the inside of us because we are afraid to experience the grief that we are handling in our life or the sadness or the emotions that come along with what happens when something doesn't go our way as planned, right? How many of you have gone through an experience where you cried a lot? You felt a significant amount of pain and you didn't believe that you were going to get over it, but you found yourself out of it. There was a light at the end of the tunnel. And today you can look back on a situation that you thought you were stuck in and realize that you were able to step out. Anybody? Acknowledge and validate your feelings and sadness, because if you don't handle what you're feeling in the moment, it's going to be difficult for you to be thankful later on. So you have to handle the mess so that it can shape a message and then you can move. Anybody? My next point. Don't give up, turn up instead, right? And so what does that mean? All of us are adults, turn up means, have fun, do something outside the box, don't give up, but turn up instead. And when I say turn up, you should constantly be in the posture of thankfulness, constantly be in the posture of gratitude because of some of the things that you've experienced in your life. You have a reason to turn up with the thank you, right? Look, I woke up this morning. I'm in my right mind, right? I can walk, I can talk, I can breathe. I have food. I have a house to live in. My kids are still alive. My husband is still present, right? You can turn up with your gratitude, right? When you begin to think about all the situations that tried to take you out, but they were shaped to send you out, you can turn up with a thank you, right? You don't have to turn up in the party. Y'all ever been to the club, right? I may not be talking to anybody here. If you've ever been to a club and you was inside the club and your song came on and you started doing the moves, you started doing the moves and you were dancing and you were bopping and everybody got on the floor and you just knew you had to break out and do what you do, right? It was your turn up. So when you begin to think of the things that you can be thankful for, when you begin to think of gratitude, I want you to get into the motion and start turning up the same way. It's a reason for you to dance. It's a reason for you to declare. It's a reason for you to still believe that better is possible. Mark just jumped on and said, good morning. Even in sickness, I am still showing up and not giving up. I am thankful to God to allow me to still be here, still trying to help assist others. For those of you that don't know, Mark, experienced a stroke. He lost his ability to speak and he's been teaching himself to speak all over again. I told you guys a couple weeks ago, Mark has been instrumental in my life when I was transitioning from the criminal justice system back into society. He helped me by connecting me with some of the programs and resources I needed to succeed, right? And so he may be going through this situation right now, but he's probably thinking back of some of the things that he was able to do in his life, and he still has gratitude. How many of us know that it's difficult to have gratitude when we're faced with difficult situations, but you can still have it if you acknowledge and validate your feelings of frustration or sadness and don't stay there, but you move on from there. My next point, after don't turn up, don't give up, turn up. Gratitude is a practice. It's not a script. Stop correcting yourself when you make a mistake or when you don't feel like you've been grateful, right? You don't have to do it every time. It takes practice for you to get into the posture of gratitude because it's hard, right? We're human, right? And sometimes we are mad. I'm going to speak for me. Sometimes I get upset, right? When things don't go my way. And I realize that gratitude is a practice, right? I have to constantly practice it because if I don't, I can forget all the good things and the great things that has happened inside my life, right? And so it's up to us, right, to begin to understand what's been taking place in us, what's been taking place through us, and what's been taking place for us. Pastor Cedric, thank you so much for jumping on and being here today. My next point is, look, in the words of Jay-Z, you can have 99 problems, but being grateful should not be one. I'm going to stop right there, right? Because look, I'm a fan of Jay-Z. I don't care what the church folks say, right? I like hip hop, but you can have 99 problems, but being grateful should not be one. And what does that mean? Look, there's something that you can dig deep and discover and find and say, my goodness, look at this. This is for me. This happened for me. There is something that can activate gratitude in you. If you have children, it activates gratitude. If you have a spouse, it activates gratitude. If you have breath, it activates gratitude. If you can see, it activates gratitude. There is something in you that can activate gratitude. And today, even though we're coming up on Thanksgiving, just because you sit at the table and eat doesn't mean you're thankful. I'm going to wait. I said, just because you sit at the table and eat doesn't mean that you're thankful, right? And so what I'm doing right now is trying to gratitude in you. And when I get to the end of this presentation, you're going to understand why. It's more important than ever for you to get to the table because there's a seat for you there when you break bread with others to have gratitude with you, right? You know, you ever had a bosom buddy when you was growing up and the teacher would pair you with somebody and you had to walk with them inside the line from one classroom to the other, right? And so when you do that, gratitude needs to be your bosom buddy. You need to grip gratitude so that it can take you on your way. Because when you grip gratitude, you can grow up, you can go up. My goodness, look, I'm shifting right now. And so gratitude, it has to be your partner. It has to be something that you allow to tag along in your life. And look, my final point today, and then I'm shifting, I'm going to walk you out and give you this last tool. You have to begin to focus on the fighter and not the fight. I'm going to say that again. You have to focus on the fighter and not the fight. We spend so much time looking at what's happened in front of us that we forget to pay attention to what's happening in us. My goodness. My goodness. We spend so much time looking at COVID, looking at what we've lost, looking at what other people have, that we forget to look at ourselves. We spend so much time focused on the fight that we forget the fighter. The fighter is you. And if you want to activate gratitude, it's not going to start in the minds and in the hearts of someone else. It's not going to start when you get to a table. It's going to start in you. Today, I want to encourage you to focus on the fighter. And that's how you activate gratitude. You take a look at you. You take a look at you and you realize what's been done for you. And just like that little blind boy who sat on the side of the road with a sign, he spoke it one way, but the people that were watching perceived it different. And when people begin to see some of what you've experienced, where you are, what you've been through, and how you overcome, what it will do is that it will also activate gratitude in them. But it starts with you no longer just focusing on the fight, but focusing on the fighter. Focusing on the fighter. Being thankful, listen, can help you through life's tough times. Y'all know my story, right? I started getting put out the house when I was 13, 14 years old. And then I found myself upstate New York, handling the street enterprise that I thought that I was really good at. And after doing that for 5 years, I found myself being pulled over on 787, exit 23 on 787 South by the police. And what they found was a lot of drugs in the car when they went to our house, and they found body armor and assault rifles. And some of y'all up here has never heard this story. And I found myself serving almost 5 years in prison. I came home and realized that the American dream I wanted wasn't about a man. It wasn't about money. It was about making impact in the lives of others who not just look like me, but who may have had experiences like me. And so I didn't care about the picket fence. I didn't care about the car. I cared about what I could do for others. And my life's mission from that point became giving back. And I find myself here today. I have this incredible opportunity to speak to you online. I have this incredible opportunity to be an associate pastor in a local church. I have this incredible opportunity to be an executive vice president in a company here that is a national brand. I had this incredible opportunity to speak on global platforms at places like Cornell University and Yale and all these other fancy places. The girl that had the felony, the girl that failed, the girl that made mistakes, the girl that failed forward and failed fast. But when I look back and I don't pay attention to the fight and I look at the fighter, I have to activate gratitude and say thank you. I have to activate gratitude and say thank you. So when you begin to look at your own story and not the story that's happening in front of you, but the story that's happening in you, you can activate gratitude in a season where just because you sit at the table and eat a meal for Thanksgiving doesn't mean that you're thankful. My goodness. My goodness. My goodness. So what can you do this season to activate gratitude and to help others do the same? What can you do? What does that look like, right? What does it look like? And so it looks like you looking at you, right? It looks at you accepting who you are and where you've been. It looks like you acknowledging the blessings that you experience. It looks like you having total recall and being thankful for where you came from and where you are. You know, I told this to the students yesterday, and Davina's here, in the words of the great Dr. Drake. I started from the bottom, now I'm here. right? How many of you can quote Drake and say, I started from the bottom, now I'm here, right? And that may be a hip hop song. He may be talking about Cash Money, but when I look back, I realized that I was rock bottom. I started from the bottom and now I'm here. Like, I broke the rules, right? The circumstances that happened in some of our lives shouldn't allow us to be where we are. But because it happened, we can activate gratitude. I have a reason to say thank you. My pastor always says you can't think of thank you. And I'm not thinking of thank you no more. I'm saying it out loud. What can you be grateful for yourself? I want you to be grateful for people, but first you have to find gratitude on the inside of you. So I can throw on Drake right now and say, I started from the bottom, now I'm here. I started from the bottom, now my whole team's here. And what that means for me is that there was a time when I thought that I didn't make it. I classified myself as a failure. I didn't think that I was going to get through. I didn't want to celebrate anything. I didn't even want to look at life. But today I can look back at my failures and I can look forward and realize that I have something to be thankful for. So this year, when I sit at the table, I'm not just going to eat a meal with family and friends, or with the people that live in my house or at some restaurant someplace. I'm sitting at the table and I realize, despite what's happening all around me, the kids not being able to go to school, people not being able to go to work or losing their jobs, people losing their homes, people losing loved ones to COVID-19 and to other things, despite the bad doctor reports that I've been getting every other week, I still have a reason to activate gratitude inside of me. I still have a reason to be thankful. We always focus on tough times and challenging moments. But today, my goal is that the attitude of gratitude and not the attitude of gratitude is activated in you. Being grateful activated what I knew was in me. I looked at my mistakes, I looked at my moments, and then I looked at myself. And it was there that I could say thank you. When you walk around with gratitude, it'll begin to open the door to all kinds of other things in your life. It'll help you explore the inner part of you that you kept bottled up and pushed down. There's overflow in your life, overflow that's been assigned to you, but it starts with us activating gratitude. Activating gratitude. So I'd love to hear what some of you guys are doing this Thanksgiving. And I'm going to end this with the gift that I have for you if you want. So Thanksgiving is coming up, and I know it's difficult for us sometimes to celebrate things in our life, but I want to help you celebrate. So I have a gratitude graphic, and it's just a graphic. If you inbox me your pictures, right, I'll go ahead and upload your pictures to this gratitude graphic for Thanksgiving, and you can post it next week with the hashtag Activate Gratitude. Let's encourage some other people that surround us. Let's encourage some people that we know. Let's encourage ourselves, our family, our friends, and the people that are watching us every day. Just like that young boy put up a sign. If you want a gratitude graphic, you can also put up a sign to remind people of all the things that they have to be grateful for. Listen, I want to thank you guys for joining me this morning. I'm cutting a little short. I have a bridal shower that I need to get to, and I am not ready. You'll know, coffee and community conversation. I throw on whatever and jump on the camera. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. Remember, you can inbox me. I'll get a gratitude graphic done for you by my graphic designer, and you can post it next week, on Thanksgiving, so that other people around you will have gratitude activated. Thank you so much for joining me this morning for Coffee and Community Conversation. For those of you that don't know, I'm PKO. For those of you who do know, I'll see you soon. Don't forget to join me on Monday morning. Well, Monday afternoon, we'll be exploring a new 4-week series to end the year. I'm so encouraged by you. I hope this encouraged you as well. Let me look at love you too, Davina. I'm thankful for my sons. That's right. Thankful. If you want to write down what you're thankful for before we go, I want to encourage you to do that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So I'm going to jump off of here. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for each and one of you up here. I'm grateful for you. Remember that the attitude of gratitude starts with activating what's on the inside of you. Listen, be encouraged, be brave, look, and be empowered to be powerful. Have an amazing day. And so today's community conversation was just not about how you transition, into phase 2 for COVID-19, but understanding that whether it's good or bad, whether you say yes or no, whether you go or you stay still, it causes a ripple effect in your life.